Hello everyone, my name is Licitra Maratakose, and today I'll be presenting my mini research entitled Speak Up or Stay Silent, a survey on classroom speaking anxiety among English education students. So, as English education student, we all know the pressure of the classroom environment, and today I'm here to share the insight that I gathered from 17 of my friends in the PBE fourth semester class. So everyone, I started sharing the PPT. So as we know that speaking in class isn't just about English practicing, it is a core of a proficiency competency. Yet, for many of us, this is hindered by a silent barrier anxiety. My research objective was to investigate how severe this anxiety is among students in English education and what triggers it, and most importantly, how can we boost our confidence? So, who are the participants? The participants are 100% active PBE students or English education students, which are 17 students. And they are students who are transitioning into higher level presentation heavy courses where speaking is daily requirement. And because these respondents are my immediate friends, the data provides a highly localized and accurate picture of our daily classroom dynamics. So here is the reality of our classroom. The numbers speak for themselves. An overwhelming 58.8% of students reported height to extreme levels of anxiety when they are asked to speak in front of the class. Less than 12% describe themselves as completely calm or having low anxiety. So this confirms that anxiety is unfortunately the norm, not the exception. But why we are anxious? It isn't just about being judged. In fact, 76.5% of our anxiety comes from linguistic limits, specifically the fear of forgetting vocabulary and making grammar mistakes, and etc. So, the fear of student judgment is actually secondary to the pressure of wanting to get the language right. So this pressure leads to a specific behavior, passive safety. Nearly half of our class, 47.1% of respondents agreed that they are likely to speak up in class only if the lecturer calls their name directly, while another 29.4% remain neutral, highlighting that spontaneous volunteer students' engagement is quite rare. And only 23.6% feel comfortable volunteering essentially. We wait to be promoted because silence feels safer than the risk of making an error. And now we move to the next slide. However, the environment matters. Over 70% of us feel much more comfortable speaking in small groups. The stage spotlight effect of the whole class is daunting. I mean, small group act as a productive sanctuary where we can practice without the fear of failing in front of everyone. So, one sentence that I highlighted from the answer is I feel much more comfortable speaking English in small group discussion. And yes, definitely 70.6% of my friends are saying yes. And some of them said a little bit, and some of them also said no, it feels the same. So small group remove the stage spotlight effect. In mirror circles, students find a proactive space to practice ideas without fear of failure. And the next is listening versus speaking challenge. So as we can see here, the survey, 47.1% students state that listening and speaking are equally challenging. And 29.4% state that speaking is harder. And 23.5% say that listening is harder. So the struggle isn't just understanding, it is the real-time pressure of encoding and focalizing thoughts. And now we move to the primary confidence booster. So how do we fix this? How do we fix the speaking anxiety? The data suggests two major cases: preparation and environment. Nearly half of the students rely on having notes. Like we see this, the notes preparation, 47.1% state that having time to write down key notes and points before they speak is their biggest confidence booster, while 41.2% prioritize a friendly, warm, and highly supportive classroom environment over structural variables. And the last one is working with friends, which is 11.8% find that their primary safety and confidence boost when speaking directly alongside close friends. So the 2 points that we highlight here is not preparation and environment. How these two things can primary confidence can become our confidence booster. So this is the strategies that I collected from the answer. The first one is gradual exposure. My friends are preferred an answer and make this as the strategies. The first one is gradual exposure, which is practicing and speaking in small group first before attempting whole classroom talks. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then the second is mirror practice. It is simulating real classroom talking by having self-discussion in front of mirrors at home. And the third is mindful respiration, which is take a breath and start to speak slowly. So we focus on slow and measured pacing. And the last one is my favorite one from the answer, which is I quoted like jangan lihat mata mereka, sumpah nakutin. So yeah, I agree. I really agree with that. So we have to avoid direct scary eye contact and look slightly above the students or the audience eyes. Every time when we are being asked to speak in the front of a class, the first thing that I guess can help us to avoid the anxiety is we have to avoid eye contact with the audience. And this is the words from our classmates. So one of my classmates or my friend summarized it perfectly, and I like that. My friend said, the best way is gradual practice. Start by speaking in small groups, Prepare a few key points beforehand and focus on sharing your ideas rather than being perfect. So I agree with that. And this is from Anonymous. PBE semester 4 survey response. The last one is synthesis and conclusion. So in conclusion, classroom speaking anxiety affects more than half of the PBE fourth semester classmates, which is 58.8% expressing a high or extreme anxiety. It is strongly driven by internal linguistic blockers, severe vocabulary retrieval, and grammar checks. And the scaffolding is the key. So students find immense psychological safety in small group settings and beforehand not preparation. So the structural safety nets effectively lower effective filter, paving a comfortable path toward fluency. We move to the strategic action plan. And my recommendation here, there are two recommendations. The first one is for PBE students. Number one is prepare ahead. So rely on notes or outline cards to guide concepts. Avoid translating full sentences off the cuff. And the second one is refocus value. So we have to focus on successful message delivery rather than absolute formal grammatical perfection. And for the lecturers and students, this first is low effective filter. So as a lecturer and student, build a friendly, supportive classroom space that values attempts over flawless execution. And the second is progressive task. So start discussion in pairs or trios before scaling them to full class presentation. I believe that after my friend, the PBE student, and the lecturers apply this strategic or this recommendation, I believe our speaking anxiety will slowly, what is that, like menurun. Ultimately, we are all in this together, and let's work together to make our classroom a supportive space where everyone feels safe to speak. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Salam.